Market Aces versus Cytons. I say let's move forward. Let's get into it. With the commentary, it's going to be Wave Punk and Finable Carpet. Take it away, guys.
Thanks so much, Axel Toss. I'm Wave Punk, joined here by Finable Carpet, and this is a fun match. This is going to be very interesting. Market Aces, some great players that we've seen many, many times here on the RLCS stage up against Cytons, people we have never seen, but who are clearly well-versed players in Rocket League.
I mean, I'm keeping an eye on this lobby because I want to know if he's starting.
Right.
Deton and Godsmilla, both players I actually know. I know Godsmilla, top 100 player in ones. I've actually known him for quite some time. A very good player, just not very well known. As James said, this team isn't as established, but obviously they've had the skill to make it this far in the upper bracket, which means they have yet to drop a series after all of last weekend and all of this weekend. But they're up against Market Aces. Pasha, we know, just a menace. Great as a 1v1 situation. Can almost dominate pretty much anybody, no matter how good you are.
For sure.
You know, with Devo and Panda. Devo previously on 0 effort from last season, which I think 0 effort has actually been. They just recently got knocked out in the lower bracket earlier today. And it's looking like Meister Claus Christmas Bunny is going to be playing. He's on their starting roster. We have Rivalo, Nero, Meister Claus, Christmas Bunny, and Godsmilla playing for Cytons. This is going to be very interesting for me to watch.
It's going to be fun to watch, fun to cast, fun in every way, shape, or form. Cytons in the orange, Market Aces in the blue. Let's get this winner's bracket match underway. Rivalo and Nero setting this one up for Godsmilla. Rocking the light bulb. I don't think I've ever seen a player use the light bulb in competitive play. So maybe that'll just keep everything bright, and he'll be able to know where he needs to go. Devo setting this one up for Market. Gets cleared away by Rivalo. Now Pashy going to try and press this one up. Puts it down to the middle. No one really at home. Gets the demo onto Meister Claus, and there's Market on the board.
Pashy showing his ground game. We've talked about so much already. He traps it so early, gets it around one defender, sees his opportunity to take out Meister Claus, and he does, demoing him before he gets any opportunity to block the shot.
4:37, Market Aces on the board. Cytons looking to respond. Kickoff goes in favor of Market. Rivalo gets it over the top, puts it onto the backboard. Nobody really back on defense, but no one was there to finish off the shot, and Pashy puts it over to the side. Devo now picking it up over the top of Godsmilla. Rivalo tries to set it up high. Keeps it in the same place as they play the ball straight back to him. Now Godsmilla actually plays it straight back down. Devo has an opportunity, could not get it in there. Rivalo gonna pick this one up, push it back out of his half. Pashy over to Violent. Actually, Pashy's going to pick up his own touches. Violent rotates back. Now carrying
Pashy,
it very pretty. Devo up to finish it off, and it's going to be 2-0.
Pashy showing up with so much confidence, as they talked about on the desk. He knows exactly what he's doing. He gets that first touch, but check this out. He actually almost tries to follow up for a second touch after it gets popped away from him, but it still results in a great pass to Devo.
4 minutes remaining. That's 2 goals in the first minute for Market Aces. Cytons needs to find some way to pressure Market. The ball spent very little time in the blue half. Right as it goes in, you can see Violent Panda here carry it up the wall, get it past Godsmilla. It's up to Devo, who's going to put it off the backboard. It falls down in front of the goal. Pashy takes a shot, 3-0.
Market is just taking full control of this. Devo getting that first touch above the backboard, and Pashy not taking any hesitation, waiting for that bounce. A little too late on the contest for Cytons. 2 players sitting in net, no one coming to contest that.
With 3:45 remaining. Market Aces already just lighting this scoreboard up. Complete control of the game. Meister Claus Xmas Bunny needs to put his superb name powers to use if he wants to be able to turn this around for his team. Violent Panda already up, taking another shot. Godsmilla able to put it away. Rivalo's going to try and clear this. Get the transition into offense. They move out together. No one really hanging back on the defense. Meister Claus almost doing a DC kind of circle in the middle of the field. He's back in it. Rivalo and Meister trying to move up. Taken away by Devo. Back into the corner, bumping Godsmilla. Meister Claus with a nice rotation, but nobody home. Pashy takes a free shot, and it's 4-0 for Market.
2 people going into the corner on the Cytons half. We see Christmas Bunny getting the first touch, but then Godsmilla doesn't retreat back. He actually was in a bad position, facing towards the corner, leaving it open for Pashy, and Pashy's both his ground game and his placement are always going to defeat you if you give them the chance.
Yeah, their mental awareness in this game, the way that they will always look for the opportunity to score. If you give them a window of opportunity, someone like Pashy will absolutely capitalize on that one. He's got them up 4-0 in game number 1. 2:57 left to go. We're not even across halftime, and they're already at a ridiculous score margin. Pashy going to carry this one past Godsmilla. Violent and Devo waiting around the midfield line. It's going to be Devo who picks this one up. Takes it towards the goal. It's Godsmiller with the Fields backflip. Man, it goes just wide of the goal. Devo goes for the boost steal instead. Plays it out in front with Rivallo. Now Meisterklaus lets it bounce off his hood. Pashy leaves it for Violent Panda, who goes into the corner. Does not play it off the wall, but is going to be able to get the boost steal again. But with that hit right there from Meisterklaus, Cytons was able to push it out of their own half for just a moment before Violent Panda shut it back down.
It's looking very good for Mach, especially going in to the future of this. If they come out of this on top, they are showing a lot of good awareness of each other, a lot of good passing plays and good connections.
Godsmill had a nice clear right down the middle of the field, but it got put away to the side. Mockett is back in orange corner. Devo with a nice shot, going just off the post. Pashy with an opportunity in an open net. He pops it high. Violent Panda comes in to finish it off, and it's a 5-0 game.
2 players from Mach go for this. Devo catching himself on the wrong side of the field, and instead of just retreating, he comes across the net to go for the demo, which leaves it wide open for Violent Panda, letting Pashy retreat back. Even if that didn't go in, they still would have had continued aggression.
1:52 remaining. Cytons at this point just needs to play for the end of the game and start thinking about game number 2. Now, what can they change up? Don't let any more goals go in. Just stop the burning. Play damage control. Godsmiller watching this one in the corner. Pashy sets it up in front of the goal. Rivallo gets it off to the side. If Cytons could get any goal of any shape, any size, any form, it would help them a lot in moving forward into game number 2, thinking about what they needed to do, get a little bit of a morale booster, because this sort of beating can be really, really hard to come back from. They have a nice opportunity right there in front of the box, but Pashy blocks it away. Devo misses on the wall as Pashy rotates back onto defense. Meisterklaus will shoot towards the net. Pashy able to put it into the corner. Now Rivallo getting some ping pong going on. This is good for Cytons. They're able to have a bit of back and forth. It's a nice shot from Pashy in the corner, blocked away excellently by Meisterklaus. Now Meister setting this one around. Final minute of gameplay. This is the best opportunities they have had to score all game. Devo plays it through one. Godsmiller puts it behind Devo, but Pashy over the top of Godsmiller. Back and forth between the two teams. Pashy puts it out. Now Devo taking a shot towards the net. 6-0. The burn continues.
Devo from the corner. See a little bit of tunnel vision from Cytons when they're on offense. They're just kind of putting the ball in net sometimes. They're not following up. But Devo seeing the angle, seeing that open net. And that's another thing Cytons hasn't done terribly well, at least in this game, this particular match I should say, is keeping that net closed when it's in their half. They're leaving it open. There's been several shots on net just because they get caught off.
Yeah, we're able to catch the rotations. Here we go again. Another one almost going in. Is it going to finish off? There we go. 7-0 for Devo. Mockett is just running away with this one.
They really are just taking full control. A miss from Meisterklaus, trying to get underneath that, trying to even use the bottom side of his car. Was a very good thought. He wanted to touch it with the bottom, so it dropped down instead of going too far towards the middle, but he didn't get the touch, and it left it open again.
Now here's the question. Someone as cheeky as Pashy, do you think that they give them the Brazil, or do they just continue to pile them on? No, they're going to give it to him. Devo was in net and everything. Brazil underway right here.
I can't tell. This actually looked like it was an accident. Both Devo and Pashy went for that. Devo tried to go for boost.
He did actually try to get there.
And he did try and make that save. That was not a cheeky move. That was an honest goal.
It was an honest goal. Well done. Well done. The Cytons can use that one, even if it is a Brazil score margin. Hopefully they can gain a little bit of confidence knowing they were able to get him off the kickoff. If they could strike a bit earlier, strike with a bit more aggression right off of kickoff, they have a decent opportunity. Here's a nice opportunity there. Oh my goodness! They had an open goal. All 3 players were right there. They could break the Brazil, but it's not going to happen.
That's what I mean by tunnel vision. Meisterklaus really should not have been there. He did side flip for the shot, but he should have known his teammate Godsmiller had a better shot. He had the perfect clear, and Meister ended up getting in the way because he was too far up in front.
And with that ball touching, Brazil is real. Cytons gets obliterated by Mockett Aces in game number 1, and they really are going to have to change something up in game number 2 if they want to have a chance.
Mockett Aces came out so strong and did not slow down that entire game, putting up 7 goals. Pashy with 3, Devo with 3, Violent Panda with 1. A lot of assists. Pashy, look at that. 3 goals, 4 assists, 6 shots. He clearly is wanting to be a good shining star on this team, and he is being very prevalent at the moment. But like I said, tunnel vision from Cytons on both offense and defense. They're not being too aware of where their own teammates are, let alone the opponents, and they're just taking shots on net when they're not necessary. We did see an own block from Meisterklaus, where he actually tried to go for a shot even though his teammate had a better shot and ended up getting in the way instead. And on defense, they're leaving the net open. They're going for too many of the same balls.
Yep, absolutely, and especially on defense, as you said. There was so many times when we saw Mockett shooting in an open net. When they had an opportunity, they just shot enough times, drew the defense out, and then had a very, very easy shot straight in, and you really have to tighten up your defensive mistakes, especially against a team the caliber of Mockett Aces. They will capitalize every time you leave net.
And a lot of those open nets weren't even on like a relentless pressure.
Sure,
It was
yeah.
just like they took a shot on like kind of a slowish counterattack. It wasn't terribly fast, but they kind of panicked a little bit. Cytons went back to net, then 2 players tried to go for a save, or 1 person didn't stay in net. And the next shot was just like, all right, well, Mockett's like, we'll take it.
Yeah, okay, you don't want it? Okay, well, I'll take the shot. That's nice, thank you. But yeah, we'll see if Cytons can find some answer here in game number 2. Their 1 goal was off of a quick kickoff. That sort of aggression could easily help them. A bit more coordination with each other on the field. We'll see if they can make a game out of it in game number 2. Oftentimes you'll have a blowout followed by something much closer. We'll see if Mockett Aces is able to keep on the level of scoring they had in game number 1, or if they will slow down a bit. First 30 seconds have been pretty quiet so far. Violent Panda with an opportunity up in the air. Devo now going to shoot it to the corner. Violent Panda puts it back into the middle. Pesci's there. No one home again in first blood, going over to Mockett Aces.
We just talked about this. Looks like Rivallo had to be up. He went to go for a touch way earlier, but he missed it. And then the center threw. A defender tried to come out for that. It's one of those situations you kind of need to know when you're going to get beat. You understand? Like, even if I go for this, I might try and get a dunk, but he's probably going to get it around me. So my best bet is to at least stay in net and give myself a shot at blocking it, as opposed to just letting them put it around me and giving them an open net.
Well, it's got to be hard here for Cytons because on one hand, they're sorely hurting on just lack of offensive pressure, which you would think we need to commit more people to offense. But then when they just leave the net open, they get scored on. So they're trying to push out. They're trying to create more opportunities in the blue. But then the moment they get onto the back lines and Mockett's able to push it through, they have an easy shot at the net. So they really have to figure out what they're going to do, because right now Mockett has their number. Valo able to set that one out and away. See Pesci pop it off that back wall. Devo gets the dunk. Godsmill is up, but Violent Panda able to shoot that one to the corner. Valo and Godsmill now trying to push out of their own half. Valo in the air. Devo gets there first and puts it into the corner. Godsmill set up in goal as Meisterklaus tries to shoot. Godsmill came out a bit early here and creating an opening, but Rivallo was there to get it away from Pesci. Nice rotation in. Now to see if they can push this one out, create some offense.
Again, like we said, Cytons having some trouble dealing with Mockett at the moment. They are very overwhelmed by some of the pressure they can put on defense and the accuracy of the shots. They're just not prepared for some of the shots. Oh, Devo almost just a little bit to the left.
Just barely missing that one. Pesci falling back as Meisterklaus comes in, sets something up at midfield. Valo puts it over to the side. Meisterklaus is upfield of the ball, but Godsmill waiting, looking for an opportunity as Devo carries this one down. He and Violent Panda going to shoot, goes just wide of the goal again. Pesci comes in for the 3rd shot, but blocked by Meisterklaus, Xmas Bunny. He's up on the wall, looking for an opportunity. Devo blocks it away. Nice placement by Devo, just knowing exactly where that ball was going to fall, putting it away. Now Violent off the top of the crossbar, could not put it underneath. It was right there up in the corner. Now Pesci plays it over the top of one. Rivallo puts it straight up for Godsmilla. He's able to push it out. Significantly better performance here on defense so far from Cytons. At this point in the game, it was already 5-0 in game number 1. They've significantly held him, and he gets a point on the board. There we go. Cytons has tied it up.
Meisterklaus coming up, getting that first touch, and when it goes for the bounce, it gets touched by Godsmilla, beating out the last defender, Pesci, trying to get a backward save. But Mockett right now is suffering from inaccuracy. The last 3 advances they had perfect opportunities, and they were just a little bit shy on 3 shots, all hitting crossbars or posts, which is okay because they've got a lot of control in this series. But going on in this series even, they need to really be careful and take advantage of the shots that they're given.
Yeah, and on the flip side here, Meisterklaus with beautiful accuracy to put that just in the one spot, the one option he had in between Pesci and the wall, able to tie up this game, giving them a hope here. The ball right in front of their own goal. Godsmilla going to push that one over to the side. He's going up the wall as Meisterklaus moves out. They're playing very aggressively. Rivallo realized he and Meister would move it up together and fell back. Well done, but Godsmilla able to block that one in goal. Now Devo wrapping this one around. Mockett's pressure starting to increase. Meisterklaus tries to set this one around. He drops on top of that shot from Violent Panda. Nice read. But Pashy putting it on the backboard. Devo is up, and to look for it. It's going to be a tight angle if he gets it.
Oh,
The double
Devo.
touch to put it in, and there's the lead back for Mocket.
Devo had all the time in the world for that. You could see him fluttering his boost. That touch from Pashy just above net. Fluttering, oh, so nice to get that first touch, and then using it back end of his car to secure it, to make sure it goes in. Incredible show of mechanical skill.
136. Cytons is down by 1. Looking to tie the game up. As Pashy puts it into the corner. Meister Claus is waiting, gets it past Pashy. Devo puts it over to the side. Now Rivalo, Godsmilla trying to set this one out, see if they can create some points.
I'm really enjoying the kind of dynamic skill that we're just, oh, no way. Almost a crazy back touch, but Mocket so far showing Pashy really good at setting up his teammates. That ground play, those flicks, a lot of his really clinical touches, and Violent Panda and Devo just coming in to take the shots from all types of angles.
Well, Rivalo gets that one past Pashy and past Devo. Nice plays there by Rivalo, juking out the 1v1 master of Pashy. Violent Panda, though, able to take a shot to the net, make it 3-1. There was no one really in a good spot on defense, and that's a 2-point game.
Giving him a little more padding. Godsmilla takes that touch. Not the best. He understood it. It probably was going to hit that corner and bounce towards the middle. He would have wanted something a little bit softer, but it hit the sidewall and centered out for Mocket.
55 seconds remaining. Cytons down by 2. Godsmilla pushing this one up into the corner. They can get a point on the board right now. They will have a decent opportunity to score. They're in a good spot, but no one there. Rivalo was too aggressively positioned. I think he kind of got bumped up into the box. Now Godsmilla trying to play this one around. Devo watching it in the corner. They can just burn off this last 30 seconds. He'll have game number 2 in the bag. Devo just carries it around the top, just keeping it away from Godsmilla. As Violent Panda takes a shot straight down the middle. Godsmilla and Meister both go up for that one, leaving no one at home in goal. And there's the shot towards the middle. Godsmilla able to get grounded and push it away, keep the score margin from increasing, but they have to have a point right now if they want to have an equalizer. With these clears coming through from Mocket right now, they're really just keeping it in the air, keeping it away, and there we go. Pashy puts it to the far side. As the last countdown happens, Mocket Aces will take game 2. Cytons now on match point.
It got a little closer. As you said, Cytons gathered themselves a little bit more on defense, but the Aces struggled on accuracy for the first half of the game. There were almost 3 or 4 shot opportunities that were just shy of the net. This game could have easily been 5-1 with the kind of nets that Cytons were leaving for the Aces. And it's just one of those situations where you just got to take that quarter second more time. Just take a little bit more time for your shots. But it's tough in high-pressure situations. I do understand. But if Mocket does advance from here, as we've already seen who's qualified, it's going to be quite a battle in the group stages in the future for this. So the accuracy is something they're going to need to try and fix as they move on.
Absolutely. And Cytons, well done, stepping it up a little bit. And like you said, they benefited from some inaccuracy from Mocket Aces, but they didn't falter on any way. They did tighten up the defensive rotations a bit, get up on the offense, managed to make an excellent goal. And if they can make those sorts of plays happen a bit more, catch Mocket kind of in their defensive rotations, they might have a shot here in game number 3.
Yeah, they definitely could bring it to them, but again, they just seemed a little overwhelmed with some of the pressure. They did gather themselves. They weren't going up for the same stuff as much. I only saw it a few times that game, and a lot of times that comes to communication. Sometimes just like, you just got to let them know. Either a lot of really, really good teams that just flow really well, they know when their team's going for stuff and they know when not to go, but sometimes you just need to do a little bit of communication. I believe Cytons is a newer team. I haven't seen them play a whole lot in competitive season. Meister Claus Christmas Bunny, for him, this is a debut for me.
Yes.
I'd never watched him, or I'm loving his name.
Well, and they are all very skilled players. We saw Rivalo there get some nice jukes around players like Pashy and Devo. Knowing that in the 1v1 situation, the mechanics are there for these players. If they can just synergize their rotations a little bit better, I think that they would have a very decent chance here in the RLCS. They've clearly made it this far, one of the best teams in Europe at the moment. But right now, Mocket has their number, and they have to figure out how they are going to respond. Violent Panda up in the air. Game number 3 here. If Mocket wins this one, it's all over. They start it off with the goal right there in the first minute.
Devo and Violent Panda getting the passes they need. Violent Panda putting that just to the side of the net. And check out this touch from Devo. Coming in, that accuracy was actually insane. Coming so far wide from the right, upside down, and placing it perfectly into the corner of the net. Almost unnecessarily accurate. Definitely making me eat my words.
Pashy now leaves that one. Violent Panda is able to pick it up, get it past Rivalo. Godsmilla in the corners. Playing on his back wheels, a nice setup there in the middle. Meisterklaus with a solid rotation, taking away the shot from Pashy, and it moves all the way to the other side of the field. Nice quick counterplay here. They're going to try and drop it in front of the goal, but it goes wide. And now Violent Panda shooting towards the net. Xmas has to get it away. Well done by the Christmas Bunny. Clear it to the side. Godsmilla trying to put it over the top of his own goal. Rivalo able to clear it to the blue corner. Meister up into the corner there. Ball spending a lot of time in this blue corner at the moment. Many players there. Rivalo able to almost get it around, but Devo gets a touch to clear it away from his own goal.
Good on Devo to get behind that ball, so he's actually able to pinch that hard into the corner. A lot of times on defense, you almost sometimes want to deliberately meet them so you get a really hard pinch, especially when you're right near your own post.
Devo now. Pashy bumping the goalie, and a nice shot off of the top of his car. Well done by Violent Panda. It's 2-0.
I'm pretty sure that was actually completely unintentional. Pashy was looking for the pass from Devo. All of a sudden, his car stopped. He looked forward. He's like, oh, whoops. Just clears out a defender. It works really well in his favor.
Well done. A very excellent pass and a beautiful shot from Violent Panda. Has them up by 2 here in game number 3. They win this one. They qualify for RLCS Season 2. Violent Panda shooting towards the net. Devo was not able to get the redirect, but it's still in a dangerous spot. Nice touch from Meisterklaus over to Godsmilla. We'll have a nice transition here. It's going to drop towards the net there. Devo off to the side, puts it up to midfield. Godsmilla over the top, bringing it back. Continuing to create offensive pressure here for Cytons. Devo puts it around the corner. Rivalo carries it back. Now Violent Panda back and forth between these two teams. Meisterklaus following this one, looking for what Violent Panda is going to do. Violent gets it over the top of him. It drops down in front of the box, and Pashy with an obscene angle able to get that one towards the net, but cleared away by Cyton.
Just getting beat in the air a lot. Market is just overall showing a lot more presence on the field. They're getting the balls quicker, both in the air and on the ground. And they're rotating back quick enough. They're being comfortable. They're not leaving any open nets.
2:40 remaining. Approaching halftime. Market still up by 2. Now Rivalo on the wall, trying to play this one out into the middle. Pashy and Violent Panda both go up for this. Violent puts it high, trying to set it up. It does not cross in front of the goal. It doesn't drop in front of the net. A viable option. Pashy was able to take a shot, but blocked away by Cytons. Now Godsmilla over to Meisterklaus. Here pressing their advantage, trying to create an opportunity. Interrupted by Violent Panda out to midfield. Rivalo to Godsmilla. These players passing better. I'm liking the way Cyton is moving on offense. They're getting harder clears and responding to their own touches more actively, but there's Meisterklaus going in for that shot. Violent Panda was able to take it away from him. That was a very good positioning by him, but he ended up in the enemy goal. Now Devo with an opportunity. He's going to try and put this one off the backboard. Pashy's going to be going up. He doesn't need to. Devo able to dunk it in.
Devo not again above the net. While we have seen Cyton open their eyes a bit more for each other, Devo, look at that. Being a little cheeky, getting a few more flips on the way down on top of that ball. Devo has been quite the menace this series.
And that 3-0 score margin that has never been broken in RLCS history shows up again here. Cytons with their backs against the wall. They lose this when they drop to a lower bracket match. They still have a hope of making it into the RLCS, but Market Ace is looking very strong here in this series. Pashy going to try and play that one back into the middle. So leaves it, lets it go to the corner. Devo presses it up off the backboard. Violent Panda's up for this one. A good touch from Rivalo, puts it over to the side. Goes in towards the goal of Cytons here. Very much trapped in their own half as Violent Panda's going to touch it at midfield. Soft touch will actually leave it for Godsmilla. Meisterklaus tries to take a shot, but it goes wide. Now Diva and Pashy in the corner, watching it, putting it over the top of one player. Violent Panda back down to Pashy. He's going to go for the bumps on Meisterklaus, who gets over the top of him. With 1 minute remaining, 3 goals left to score. This is looking pretty grim for Cytons.
My God, it showed quite domination. While we have seen Cytons wake up a bit as the series progressed, just a little bit too late after getting dominated in the first 2 games. It's just been really tough for them to gather up any kind of offense.
Devo pushes it into the corner. 30 seconds remaining. As Violent Panda plays it off the wall. Devo straight down midfield. No one there. What speed on that ball is 4-0.
I believe that pinch between him and Nero. Unfortunate as Nero tries to beat anyone to it. Devo, yeah, that wasn't that. So for those of you that don't know, the trail was actually orange on that ball. The trail changes depending on what car touches it last, which means it looks like Rivalo Nero got just that last touch on it to help pinch it towards the net. Very unfortunate situation.
Meisterklaas playing it up the wall. At this point, the game is all but over. 16 seconds remaining. You got to score once every 4 seconds or so if you want to have it just to tie it up. At this point, they've only scored 1 game in the series, but well done by Cytons getting this far in the RLCS. And like we said, they're not done. They get to drop down and face somebody in the lower bracket with an opportunity still to play and represent Europe in the Rocket League Championship Series Season 2. As soon as this ball touches the ground, looks like Mocket's looking for one more burner. They're going to get it, too. Make it a 5-0. Mocket just showing up and showing us who they are here in this series.
Mocket is going to write this off as a business expense because they brought nothing but business for this entire series. Congratulations to Mocket. They, I know, have yet another sigh of relief. Getting into the group stages, no more for them today. They are actually done. I'm sure they feel great. I'm sure Patrick feels great. This trio, I'm really enjoying watching them. I think they're going to bring a lot of pressure as the RLCS continues.
No, they played so well. It was just an impressive display of offensive skill, of fantastic angles. That one drop from Devo right on top of the net with the extra flips in.
He did it twice.
Yeah, he did it twice. That player was insane to watch, on top of Pashy and Violent Panda, who we know to be excellent players as well. So, my goodness. It was a lot of fun. Really enjoyed watching them play there. We'll be passing it back over to the desk with Axel Toss and the boys. Guys, tell us what you saw.
Man, what did we see? That was a bit of a one-sided affair there. Congrats to Mocket Aces. They secured themselves a spot in league play for our EU division. Again, though, for Cytons, they aren't out just yet. They will be dropping down to the lower bracket. But do you have an explanation? Why was Mocket so good in that match?
Well, you could just tell right off the bat. Pashy played very well, but then Devo
showed
that was
up.
dirty. Multiple shots, just unbelievable. And it was just an absolute bludgeoning.
Yeah, I mean, at the beginning, I thought it was going to be a Pashy show. He just went off getting that demo goal just to start off, showing us what he's capable of. But then Devo's like, no, it's my show this time. You can have it later.
Awesome stuff. Let's take another look at what happened there as we check out the highlights here from that match. Mocket Aces showing how strong they can be.
Just right off the bat, Pashy's ground game, Carpet said it. This ground game, so good. He knew that ball was rolling in, so instead of trying to force it in, he took the player out to prevent any chance of a save.
And then, as I said, it looked like his show, air dribble pass, getting that touch out to his teammate. Devo, though, showing up for the credit, and then he needed more of those.
Yeah, but then here we witnessed half of the goals for Cytons as Bunny was able to put that one in. But even still in that game, they were outshot 11-2. And then Devo, with that shot off the backboard, following it in, was just beautiful.
He had multiple of these, just the double tap, spinneroonie, booty touch to put that one in.
The spinneroonie.
The spinneroonie.
Yes, and we see it here from Nero's angle. The spinneroonie. He did not need to add this extra flare. Look at him.
Not quite a 360 no-scope, if I may.
Well, still, that extra flare at the end, I didn't realize how good of a player that Devo is. He is a player of the highest pedigree. Those shots that he had were phenomenal. And not only just one, but multiple shots. So he has opened my eyes. I am a Devo believer.
It wasn't even just the shots. It was throughout the rest of the field. He was getting touches on the ball, just recorrecting himself in the air like I've never seen in a long time. As you said, top level play, like control in the air was just next level. And as Carpet said, I'm really looking forward to seeing this team play in the league play.
Yeah, that being said, we now have 4 teams determined for league play for the EU division. Northern Gaming, Precision Z, Flipside Tactics, and Mocket Aces. And honestly, I want to ask you guys, based on these winners bracket matches we've been seeing, we have these 4 out of the 8 teams secured. Is there 1 or 2 teams that you're especially excited for, or that especially impresses you from what we've seen so far?
Well, Mocket Aces, they played very well. And we're actually going to see a new team on the European side of things.
Guaranteed
we saw Selfless.
A new team.
Yeah, we saw Selfless get knocked out in North America yesterday, which was a big surprise. And Team Enjoy coming in, they got knocked out. And now it'll be between Red Eye and Cytons. One of those teams will get in. And then Jesse Pinkman's team. We saw Oh My Dog with Dogu from Flying Dutchman. And now Jesse, who is another member on the Flying Dutchman, his team is going to have to play Mike Rule's team, Good Morning, to get in. So there's going to be some interesting matches coming up.
A lot of it, and that's going to be a rough one specifically for them. Like Good Morning showed us that they're playing pretty good as well. Could potentially be one of those 8 getting in there. But I'm just really excited to see some brand new teams from EU. going to be making new faces, new teams, and new chances, for some of these players that didn't get a chance last time to get in and have a chance at that, that title.
So the next matches we're going to see are do or die. Either you win and you get into RLCS Season 2 league play, or you lose and you have to try again next season. So everything is on the line here. We are completely live from Burbank, California for the Rocket League Championship Series. Coming up next is going to be Sector 1 versus Supersonic Avengers. More EU action from Rocket League coming your way. Stay tuned.